in verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the 2nd month, so maybe April, May, June, Noah was born, I guess. Wow, good place. The 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day Noah entered. Let me read that again, verse 13. In the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah. Who else? Noah's wife and the three wives of his sons with them into the ark. Notice who entered. Noah and his wife singular. Shem and his wife. Ham and his wife. Japheth and his wife. Not wives. Their wife. Keep these in mind. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird after of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female. This is something interesting as well. Male and female. Keep that in mind. Okay? It could be a good study in the future. The animals as well as man went into the ark, male and female, of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And what happened after that? The Lord shut him in. The Lord closed that door of the ark after Noah entered in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. Noah was a very obedient man. Very, very obedient man. He followed every command that God gave him. God protected that man. Why? He was righteous in the sight of God. All other creatures on the earth, save those that came into the ark, perish in the flood. Verse 21. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle, and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And every man in whose nostril was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle and creeping things, and the fowl of heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. That is very sad. That's a very sad ending. That of all God's creatures, of all the people that lived on the earth, that God would find only Noah to be righteous on the earth. And God protected his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. A far cry. You wonder about the world today and the times that we're living in. As we look and see what happened when termites get into your house, we see how, my brethren, they can eat the wood in your house and cause a major disruption in the foundation. And sometimes it would mean to the destruction of that house, to tear it down. And that's what we see from the Garden of Eden. Sin came in, and sin multiplied on the earth. Sin grew and grew and grew, so much that God saw that every thought and imagination of man was evil continually. So he decided to tear it down, start over. And that's what he did. Did you know, brethren, that Jesus said that as it were in the days of Noah, so shall it be in his return before he comes back? Are we really living in that time as Noah did, as in Noah's day? Noah had one wife. Noah's sons, 3 sons, had a wife each. Ham, Shem, Japheth. They both had their wives that went into the ark. Every creature that went into the ark went male and female. A far cry from what it is today, my brethren. There's a whole set of confusion that is going on out there. You know, in our generation, Noah's generation, only a few saved. Can you imagine that if Christ should come today, or 100 years from now, 200 years from now, where will we be? Where will our children be, our grandchildren? Will they have the teaching, good support to keep them along the way? Or will we become very relaxed in our teaching? It's okay. That's all right too. I don't judge. Everything is fine. Once we have love, once we can embrace each other, that's all that matters. A hug and a good laugh. Boy, aren't we happy? Meanwhile, termites are in the house, destroying the foundation. As I prepared this message, I thought I better do it in 2 parts. Look at Noah and set up the second part. I would like to continue this message with you. I think it's a very important one. We need to really set that foundation for our young ones coming up. I listened to Sister Iseline this morning, and Brother Ken and myself was just kidding with her, how she is encouraging Brother Ken to teach the Word. It is incumbent on him to do that. It is incumbent on the ministers to do it, and to do it right. Lest we fall into a situation or a condition, as it were, in Noah's time. It would be very sad to know that we look so happy and keeping the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ, and 100 years from now, our family forgets the way and lose the path, as we see in Noah's time. I want you to think about these things, brethren. God bless you.